With the release of Top Gun Maverick, fans have once again been taking on a ride as Maverick returns to Top Gun. The action-filled sequel came 36 years after the first one came out and immediately became a huge success. With that being said, many got overly excited about the third one, and we are about to tell you why you should be excited as well. When Top Gear aired, it quickly became a cultural phenomenon, and many were wondering when a sequel would arrive. Well, 36 years later, we finally have a sequel, the Top Gun Maverick. That's right, it has been over 3 decades since the first movie came out. The actual sequel sees Tom Cruise reprise his role as Pete Maverick Mitchell as he returns to the Top Gun unit, where he is tasked with a training group of young aviators to carry out a secret mission. One of the hot shots in his care is the son of his deceased best friend, Lieutenant Nick Goose Bradshaw. So Mitchell needs to confront the demons of his past as he shapes this young recruit in for the job. This belated sequel examines his distinguished but controversial Navy career through the eyes of high-ranking detractors. He has to prove that he is more than a relic from the 1980s. In this movie, Cruise once again proves that he is in top form as the best pilot in the Navy, and the sequel does leave an open door for another movie. Top Gun Maverick is a late sequel to one of the most iconic movies of all time. It manages to tell a worthwhile story and deliver thrills that are at least comparable to the ones in the original movie. With all this being said, could another Top Gun movie happen? If you ask us, we are almost 100% sure that Top Gun 3 will get made, and we won't have to wait 36 years to see it. Ever since the second movie came out, many have been talking about a follow-up movie. With all the critical success the second one gained, it's hard to imagine a third Top Gun movie not being greenlit. Currently, there are no official plans for Top Gun 3, but that is understandable since the second one came out earlier this year. Given its 97% fresh Rotten Tomatoes score, glowing reviews, and anticipation by audiences, Top Gun Maverick is set to be a massive blockbuster. It may even be hailed as one of Tom Cruise's best movies. In the end, it all depends on the movie's box office, but we doubt that Paramount wouldn't want to carry on the movie to a franchise. Since the movie is such a huge hit, we would believe that Paramount has already made secret plans to make the third movie happen. However, it will all depend on Tom Cruise. Given that he is the main character in both films, it would only make sense that he returns to the third one as well. Many have questioned if there will be a Top Gun 3 without Cruise, and it seems like it wouldn't be. Why wouldn't he return? Well, he is 60, but he seems to still be doing all of his tricks despite his age. In Top Gun Maverick, he even insisted on having his castmates go through a 3-month boot camp to make sure they were all able to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, he wanted to make sure that they were all able to mitigate the potential side effects of being in an F-18. The ending of the movie also left the audience craving answers that only another movie can provide. When it comes to a release date on a new Top Gun movie, director Joseph Kosinski said that it's all up to Tom Cruise. He said that it took 36 years to convince him to do Maverick, and that it's all up to him, and that Cruise is the one that needs to be convinced. Kosinski even said that he is all for making another movie, as long as everyone else is on board. He has a story he wants to continue, and he will eventually make it, no matter how long it takes. Given that Maverick was released earlier this year, we wouldn't hope for another movie for at least 2 years. This type of movie takes quite a long time to be made. Combine that with Tom Cruise's extremely busy schedule, and you easily have a process of 2 to 3 years of making another movie. Maverick is likely to become the first Tom Cruise movie to top $1 billion at the global box office. So it makes perfect sense for Paramount to greenlight a third movie. In its 5th weekend of release, it returned to the #1 spot at the international box office and still ranks #3 in the US. Tom Cruise's co-star, Miles Teller, even said that he and Cruise have been having some conversation about a third movie. We have yet to see when this movie will be released, but if you ask us, we would say we shouldn't hope to see it before 2025 at the earliest. It did take 36 years to make a sequel, so we might have to wait until we see the third one as well, but possibly not 3 decades of waiting. Well, one of the people Top Gun cannot go any further without is Tom Cruise. Top Gun without him wouldn't be the iconic movie we have all known, so it is highly likely that the new movie will have Cruise as the main character as well. In the sequel, we were introduced to a few new characters, such as Miles Teller as Rooster and Glenn Powell as Hangman. All of the newly added characters are likely to return to the next movie. There is also the possibility of Paramount moving forward with a third movie without Cruise, but that's going to be a big risk. That's if the actor even allows that to happen. Cruise has been quite protective over Top Gun, and he spent years making sure everything was right for the sequel. So if a third movie would happen without him, we have to question if the movie will be any good. Surely there is Teller to continue on the story and have the third movie focused on his character. But we believe it's highly unlikely that Teller will do the movie without Cruise. One of the characters that won't be returning to the next movie is Iceman, played by Val Kilmer, but he could be briefly shown in the movie as a flashback. As for the cast members, nothing is stopping the production from introducing new characters as they did in the Maverick movie. Top Gun 3 could also bring in new pilots to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But no, in all seriousness, they could bring new pilots to join Maverick up in the air, although Rooster becoming Maverick's new wingman seems like a no-brainer. In the sequel, Maverick returns to Top Gun to train new pilots for a difficult mission, which is blowing up a uranium plant in a nearly impossible-to-reach spot. It was decided that Maverick is going to lead the pilots, including Rooster Bradshaw, the son of his deceased best friend Goose. Not only do they accomplish the mission, but no one dies. In the end, Pete also reunites with his love interest Penny, and they ride off into the sunset. Due to the plot of the second movie, there is no sure way to say how a third one will bring Pete back to Top Gun. Having him back to train new pilots would be a repeated plot, and one that doesn't seem likely for the next movie. It hasn't been yet confirmed whether this was Pete's last mission, but many believe that it was. However, the third movie could look at what retirement could mean for Maverick and how he might struggle with civilian life. It will likely feature a new mission that requires Maverick and the other pilots' death-defying flying skills, since the previous mission was so successful. However, the sequel did plant a seed for a potential new story, since Admiral Kane planned to replace human pilots with a drone armada. Maybe Top Gun 3 will put Maverick and other human pilots against Kane's drones to prove that man is superior to the machine. This is all just speculation, since there aren't any story hints just yet, but it wouldn't be too crazy of a storyline. One thing is sure, you can expect a lot of airborne action as Maverick and others take to the skies. There will also be a lot of action, and Maverick will likely continue his relationship with Penny as well. These are all the changes that we are all so excited to see. You'll love these new videos next.